SMT Nation, we back. Nation, we've got updates out of the T-Mobile network. Some things that have been ongoing for the last couple of years. We know one of them is absolutely a pain in the you-know-what for T-Mobile, and that's WCO. And basically, it's a investment firm, holdings company of some sort that is making T-Mobile's life very challenging as T-Mobile tries to acquire more of the N41 spectrum, the 5G UC. You guys know the capacitive layer of the T-Mobile network. They're trying to own more of it. They're trying to gain more of those licenses through like schools and churches, and WCO is making things tough on them. And T-Mobile's playing dirty too. It's pretty wild to watch this stupidity play out. But they're both jockeying for position, to own the spectrum. T-Mobile wants to own it so they can deploy it at their cost and owner's economics. And then you got WCO who's trying to own it and be basically, the spectrum landlord for T-Mobile. Anyways, let's cover the details in this update from Dano. Light reading. Article will be in the description. Also in the description is the real SMT Buy Me Coffee link. If you want to support your creators directly, you can buy us a coffee. There's other ways to support us too. Check them out there in the description. Like the Mint Mobile partner link. If you guys want to get a good deal on wireless service, using our partner link, mintmobile.com/Sneed, unlock savings. The deflation promo pricing is still there, so if you use our partner link, you'll get a good deal on your wireless service and save a lot of money. And of course, with that savings, you could buy something else. You could buy a wireless keyboard, you could buy an LED light, you could buy a camera, all right? And of course, switching is super easy. They'll ship you a SIM card really quick, or you can activate on eSIM. All right, so check them out, Mint Mobile. Okay, so WCO Spectrum finally has responded to T-Mobile's recent lawsuit against the company, saying that T-Mobile is campaigning with threats, intimidation, and litigation against schools and other educational institutions. And basically what's playing out here, folks, is T-Mobile is trying to get the best deal possible for the N41 spectrum, the EBS, BRS licenses that these schools and educational facilities have access to. So T-Mobile doesn't want to lease if they don't have to. What they would prefer is they would like to outright buy the spectrum from these churches and schools, for their network. So most recently, we know that there's an agreement with T-Mobile and the Christian College of Georgia. They're going to be buying the 2.5 gigahertz licenses to use on their network. I know it's a multi-million-dollar deal, and WCO was kind of like all up in the mix there. What WCO wanted to do was buy it from the schools and the churches, and then lease it to T-Mobile, and they make money. T-Mobile doesn't want landlords, and I don't blame them. Right, that's the hardest part of networking is licenses. You got tower sites and all this, but you don't have enough spectrum, and having a landlord for a spectrum is just such an unusual situation. But that's what T-Mobile inherited with Sprint. They knew it coming into this that it was going to get muddy and messy, and man, this whole public thing that's playing out with WCO and T-Mobile it looks and sounds ridiculous. So there's court proceedings. T-Mobile is claiming, that WCO is just driving up pricing and forcing T-Mobile to have to pay more than they should for the licenses. WCO wants to own them. The FCC changed the rules on the licenses for EBS and BRS a couple of years ago. And, now they can own it and then lease it to T-Mobile or whatever. And T-Mobile's pissed about the whole ordeal. So I, for one, want T-Mobile to be the owner of their licenses that they use. I think it makes sense. It makes business sense. It makes network sense. But I mean, WCO's not, I don't think they're violating any type of rules. So while it's a preference, it's not law. Like there's nothing that WCO appears to be doing wrong with respect to competing for licenses. But what T-Mobile is saying is that there's some kind of fraud, things that and shams that WCO is trying to do. All right, so that's kind of the legal aspect of this. But T-Mobile gets one step closer to owning more of these licenses. I know that there's that whole Owasso public school situation going on, within Oklahoma where T-Mobile leases network assets as well. And, WCO was kind of caught up in that too. Man, just a reminder of how ugly and stupid all of this is And T-Mobile's not done. Don't forget how fragmented the N41 band is for T-Mobile across the country. So if you're in like rural areas with Spectrum Auction 108 and the white space licenses, if you're in any of these areas, man, it really does make the whole C-band situation for Verizon and AT&T look pretty damn sweet, not having to deal with stuff like this. Anyways, what do you guys think of this development? How do you think it's going to play out? Do you care? Do you not care? Screw T-Mobile, or do you support T-Mobile in this? We'll see how this plays out. We'll continue to follow the story. All right, but what say you? Sound off in the comment section below. Go on the voice of the people, the SMT Nation, let your voice be heard.